Hello, hello. Welcome to my little channel here on the interwebs. That's right. Today, I want to have a heart to heart with the parents that might watch this. But before I do that, I want to show this Twitter poll. This is my Twitter poll for the week. Should President Biden be impeached or get 25th Amendment with the goal of being removed, even if that means the current VP becomes president? Of course, glad I did it at that point. I'm currently at a little over 1,200 votes, and the answer is still yes. I haven't decided if I'm going to be going out to the property Friday. I gotta check the weather report. If it's below 90 on Saturday, I'll probably be going camping, which means I'll probably be doing maybe this video Monday or tomorrow, going over some of the comments. But for the parents out there, I suggest you look at libs of TikTok. Every so often, you'll see a teacher that's going to be posting the what they actually teach to the kids. That's right. I don't know if any of these are teachers. I haven't really looked at them, but there's been a couple. The mentally unstable person was a counselor, is now a teacher. Those are the people you want to trust with your children. That's right. You might want to get to know who's teaching your children, because this is going to have effects down the road and how the direction our country is going, because the kids are our future. And yes, we should teach them some of the stuff that does not make America great and let them know how we, as a group of people, have overcome those things. But you literally have psychos, insane people teaching our kids. According to this, homeschooling reaches critical mass. That's right. The number of U.S. kids who are homeschooled has nearly doubled during the pandemic. Why it matters. Some peers have lost faith in traditional schools, others fear exposing their kids to the COOF. The board exodus could further weaken Americans' struggling public education system. Yeah, I really don't have too much faith in the public education system. I mean, I think we definitely need to make sure that there's an education system in place. I just don't think the public schools are doing the best job when you got the teachers union dictating. By the numbers, nearly 2.6 million kids have switched from traditional schools to homeschooling since the pandemic began, according to their new report from the Bellwether Educational Partners, commissioned by the Walton Family Foundation. Now the total number of homeschools sits around 5 million, according to the census data. More than 11% of the U.S. households are now homeschooling. And it's not just white families. Oh my God, not just white families. I don't know why they had to add that in there. Oh yeah, because it's probably a liberal rag that wants to throw race into everything, which is probably why a lot of parents are removing their kids from public schooling and either doing private school or a charter school or attempting to do homeschooling themselves because they see the blatant racism. It may be soft overtones. This is another reason why not just the white families are moving to homeschooling. 9.7% of white families with kids have pulled out of traditional education, as of 12% of Hispanic families, 8.8% of Asian families, and 16.1% of black families. Families' reasons for turning to homeschools vary. For the first time in modern history, parents have got a chance to observe their children's education up close at home. If anything that the COOF pandemic has taught us is to be more aware of what's happening with our education and seeing the not so great side of our school, what they teach us. Many are deciding that they want more individualized learning options for their kids, whether it's more attention from educators, or a more personalized lesson plan, says Alex Spur, a senior analyst at Bellwether and one of the authors of the report. Some families are fed up with virtual learning, while others don't feel safe sending their kids to school while a pandemic still rages on. I mean, it's a legitimate concern. Maybe, maybe you're not the mother of your kids that you're sending to school. Maybe your grandmother or grandfather. You're at that age where the coof, let's just say, has a higher rate of making them not alive, which is definitely a big concern. It's a valid concern. I'm just going to leave it at that. Many families of color are choosing homeschool their children because they're not satisfied with how schools are teaching kids about race and racism against the backdrop of social justice protests and the rising Asian hate. Funny fact about Asian hate, every time I see Asian hate, it's usually another minority causing the hate. Somehow it's always the white people's fault. But every time the story comes out about some Asian people getting beat up or harassed, it's usually the black community that's doing the harassment. Now, I'm not saying that every person that's in that community is causing hate for Asian. I'm just saying the majority of the stories I come across, which is anecdotal evidence, and I'm pretty sure is backed up by statistics. That's not. It's mainly another minority causing it towards the Asian, which is definitely a concern. As an African American, I did not like the way the school was addressing some of the culture things that are going on, says Teresa Bates, a mother of three in Richmond, Virginia, who switched to homeschooling during the pandemic. Someone asked me when I'll return my kids to the public school, and I said I'll show up in the textbooks when I'm represented well and accurately. I mean, this goes both ways, whether or not you agree with racism, and as in the type of country we are. Are we a racist country, or are we moving towards the right direction? I know that there's some. I have actually two people at work. One geared towards one side, more of a liberal side, and he has more of a hostile view towards the police and certain directions of where the country is going, how they were treated, or how his particular race was treated because he is black or African American. I also have another person I work with, also black American, which is the complete opposite. So they both have valid points, and it's important to listen to both sides to get a complete understanding and make up your own opinion. But this is why parents need to know what's happening in their schools to see if they align within their value. But of course, the most disturbing thing is YouTube Kids. That's right. I watched this video, and this is just a snapshot of a buried in the news. Students' new indoctrination song, our face mask song, tune to I'll be working on the railroad. I thought working on the railroad was racist. I'm just saying. I mean, if these progressives wanted I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think I'll always wear my mask all day long. I'll always wear my face mask. It shows that I'm so cool. Masks help everyone stay healthy. Teacher, friends, and family. I'll always wear my mask. That helps us stay germ free. It kind of goes on, but this is just a little snippet. The worst part is it is provided by YouTube by DistroKids. This is a kid promoted channel by YouTube. They're indoctrinating our kids. The only people that should be indoctrinating our kids is the parents, teaching them from right and wrong. That's just my opinion. Anyways, I could probably go on because there's a lot to unpack here, and I'm not even scratching the surface, to be honest. I'm just barely brushing off the dust of this topic, and that's even disturbing now that I'm thinking about it. Because all I gotta say is a message to the parents: know what your kids are being taught in school. Get to know your the teachers. Who's teaching your kids? Do they align with some of your values? No, I do know that not everyone's going to share your values 100%. Hopefully, they can share your values up to 90%, even maybe even 95%. Maybe maybe this is asking a lot. Maybe teachers shouldn't tell the kids who they voted for, or even show one favoritism towards one political party over the other political party. Maybe they needed to express equal attention to both parties, say the pros and cons of each party. It's kind of how you make an argument. When I was in high school, I think it was also in college too, when it came to forming an argument, written argument, you have to come up with the topic that you want to argue, show both sides of the arguments, the pros and the cons, and write your opinion on which side you're in favor of. And I don't think the schools are doing that too much. It's more one sided. That's why I say a message to all parents: get to know your teachers, get to know your principals and your school counselors, the people that are going to be spending the most time with your kids, because they will. I mean, you're going to be at work 8 hours a day, and they're going to be at school anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day. That's a lot of hours to be influenced. Hopefully, they turn out to be pillars of the community. But I have a feeling if you live in California and certain parts of New York and certain parts of Austin, Texas, they won't be the pillar of the community that you expect them to be. They may be Antifa, and that's hopefully not going to happen. But anyways, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. Smash the like and subscribe button. Share my content if you think someone needs to hear this or think may enjoy my content. With that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.